So it's that time again, right? Time for the weekly meeting. Everyone rocks up, but you kind of get a sense that your meeting is not going to be as effective as you want it to be. You might wish there's a chance for your team to connect or to ask questions so that you can save time during the week. You might wish that they could start to look ahead for the week and see what's coming so that it's not a surprise. Your meetings might even feel like they're a bit ad hoc and just moving from one issue to another and not getting the bigger picture. So it's enough to make any business owner wonder why they should even have team meetings. So today I'm going to be giving you some tips about how to run a remote team meeting so that you can connect with your team, so that you can gain the benefits of actually having your weekly team meeting and not dread it every time it comes around. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Airlie. I share productivity, process and project management tips to help small teams achieve big goals. So if you want more of these tips on team management, make sure you hit subscribe so that you can catch the new content when it comes out. So as I mentioned in the intro, weekly team meetings can be a drag, especially if you and your team don't see the benefit. I know that you value your team and you know they do an awesome job. Their effort is not what we're focusing on here. If you turn up to the meeting with the mindset that it's going to be a drag, then it probably will. If you show up unprepared or your team do, then no wonder it feels like a drag and feels like it's wasting everyone's time. Business culture and expectations about how to show up comes from the top. So if you take a second to get clear on the purpose of your team meetings, you can quickly swing them over to being a really valuable part of your team culture and business productivity. Team meetings can be fun, informative, and a strategic part of your business, especially if you have a remote team. It's essential that they are. So when you shift from feeling like your team meetings are a drag and a waste of time to leading them, running them effectively and with purpose, then you can start to see the difference in your profits and your team energy. So as I list through these tips for leading your weekly team meetings, keep in mind the team culture that you want to create and the business goals that you're aiming to achieve. But before I get into it, if you want the lowdown on creating effective remote team meetings, then grab my remote team meeting blueprint. In there's a 3-step setup guide for streamlining your team meeting setup. There's a team meeting agenda template that you can swipe. There's guidelines on expectations for showing up to team meetings, like phones should be off, videos should be on. There's a rundown on the different types of team meetings that there are so that you have real clarity about what's happening in this meeting, what happens in different types of meetings, and when to have them. So, tips to lead an effective team meeting. So note, these tips are for you if you have a remote team and can't all meet together, but they're still relevant for face-to-face team meetings as well. All right, let's zoom. Get it? So number 1 is to create a consistent structure for your team meeting. Make sure you have this clear and consistent agenda every week. This means that everyone knows what's happening. There's no kind of anxiety around what's happening, and they can prepare, they can report, they can ask questions, and everyone knows what's going on. This kind of transparency builds trust. Having this structure for your meetings also allows everyone to do that mental preparation that they need because they know what will be discussed. And you can also set this up and automate it in a tool like Asana or ClickUp. There are others, so that it's sent out every week. You can have those reminders for preparation sent out as well, and you don't have to touch anything. So here's a sample of an agenda that you could use for your team meetings. It's in my team meeting blueprint if you want to grab that freebie. Now, tip number 2 is about making the meeting about connecting as well as business. You've got to have a bit of work, a bit of play. So you can do this by starting and ending the meeting on a more personal, connected style. That's more fun, and it helps everyone be included, and everyone can learn more about each other, even the shyer ones. Just encourage them. It might take them time. That's fun. But your meetings could even be fun. Oh, I know. There's no rule that says your team meetings have to be dreary, nor do you have to motivate your team. Just be yourself, but switch the focus from the work to the people as you start and end the meeting. This also helps everyone connect and support each other during the week as well. Because when everyone's feeling isolated, this can be a real issue that they are connecting with people. So number 3 tip is about trust. Trust has to come into all teamwork, right? So I have to mention it. So trust shows up in team meetings in several different ways, like celebrating individual achievements that people have done during the week, or even, sub-team achievements, by setting due dates and holding people accountable week to week, by focusing on outcomes and not necessarily how long a task might take, right? These are just a couple of ways that build trust into your team and keeping that consistent, right? So creating a more cohesive team meeting environment with structure, incorporating stronger connection and developing trust will all support you to create team meetings that are valuable and meaningful for your team members, and ultimately help your team work more productively and with purpose. So once you've set up and implemented these really strong foundations for your team meetings, all you need to do is stay consistent with them and the benefits will snowball. It's like your team meetings are where everything collides in your team culture and your business. So you need to get your team meetings working really well for you. So if you want the details on my agenda and guidelines on setting expectations for your remote team meetings, grab my blueprint in the link below. So if this video was helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you want more tips, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.